All right, Wout Poels, rest day number 1, Tour de France. How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for the insight. That's great to know. We probably don't really need to talk about the race results because there's plenty of people that actually get paid to do journalism.
Yeah.
Explain this to other people. So
We do the background.
yeah, we do the background stuff that the real journalists don't get to know about, like how's the hotels been?
Not so bad, actually.
The ones in Italy were actually pretty good. Well, first I should actually start with Italy. Did you enjoy starting Tour de France in Italy?
Yeah, it was my first time there. Tour start.
I think it was the first time in the history of the Tour de France to start in Italy, so
Yeah,
surprise.
so everyone was the first time. But it was a nice atmosphere. Like, team presentation was okay. I thought maybe it would be even more busy, but it was a really long way together. And I think the 2 stages were were nice ones to follow on telly. On the bike, a little bit less. And there was a lot of people.
Yeah, I kind of had the feeling that I was just doing a worse version of the Giro d'Italia in terms of like the organization at the beginning
true.
and the end.
Yeah.
Like stage 1, we had Jan Hurt from Quickstep crash in front of our bus, going back to his bus after sign-on.
Yeah.
And the amount of people everywhere was a bit of a mess. And I think everyone was a bit relieved by the time we got to France.
And he got 2 tooth out.
Yeah, you got 2 new teeth.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tour de France.
Yeah. No, yeah, I have to say, no, you saw the difference between France and Italy. Like before the sign-in and after the finish was like, when we were on Rimini, I almost couldn't get to the bus. There were only people in swimming shorts who came from the beach.
In the finish in Rimini, I think this was stage 2. I think we had 8 kilometers to go from the finish line by bus to our hotel, and it took us an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit nicer to get to France and have the French police.
Yeah.
We've had a few easier transfers to hotels. So far the transfers haven't been so bad.
We only had one really busy day. That was the 240 kilometer day. I forgot which stage that we had to do breakfast in the bus instead of in the kitchen truck. But apart from that, it was pretty good. And I think the hotels also. Italy, the first hotel was really nice.
Yep.
Then Rimini, the air conditioning was really good in that room.
Yeah.
Because it was super warm that day.
Yeah.
And I think the worst hotel we had was the Campanile.
Mm-hmm.
But I quite enjoyed, because then for me the feeling was like, yes, now the Tour de France really started. Didn't have a Campanile, then it doesn't count.
I feel as though we get less and less Campaniles the more and more Tour de France's I do.
Yeah.
Like the more and more the tour gets bigger and bigger, maybe they get more budget for hotels.
Yeah, or there are coming more new hotels.
Also true.
I think it's also sometimes really a challenge, especially when we're in the mountains, to give everyone a good hotel with not too much transfers.
It's a lot of hotel rooms when you actually think about the amount of people that are at the Tour de France. Not only just like teams, but also like organization and everything like this. It must be a bit of a logistical nightmare to try and get everyone within like a 50 or 100 kilometer radius of the finish and the start of the next day.
And it gets bigger and bigger, and all the journalists, the organization itself, the caravan, the police,
Coming back to the 240k stage,
I'm
not sure I've set my alarm before 7 a.m. in a Grand Tour before. And this day I had it set at 6:55 or 6:50 or something. That's pretty rare.
Yeah, that was, especially we get in a rhythm that we wake up later.
Yeah.
Because we finish late dinner. So then you swap the day a little bit.
Yeah.
And at home, of course, I wake always around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then here to the tour, you go to 9 o'clock. And if you then suddenly have to wake up before 7, it's like
a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're always the earlier person awake. I normally wake up more or less when you leave the room to go to breakfast, and then
I'm so jealous of you, how you sleep. It's unreal. Yeah, no, really, Jack. It's like you sleep the whole.
Yeah, I wear the Oura ring, and I've had, I think, at least 2 nights over 9 hours sleep. But most nights it's like 8:30, 8:45.
Because you always fall asleep earlier than me, because I'm always on my iPad watching telly. And then I wake up and then you still sleep like a little baby.
Yeah, I do like a good sleep.
Yeah, me too. But at one point I'm awake. I'm like, yep. You know, like a little child, like Casper, my son. He's awake and he want to get out. I have a little bit the same. Not that I want to get out, but I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. Need food.
True. Before we move on to food, we did have, after the Galibier stage, we stayed at 1,700 meters elevation, which was a bit of a discussion about sleeping at altitude. And we had kind of these, what felt like abandoned chalets, because it was in the ski resort.
I forgot about that one. That was maybe the less hotel we had. Less good.
Yeah, but we had a good vibe after dinner. We sat there because basically, to explain what it was like, it's obviously a seasonal ski resort village, and we're definitely not in ski season. So it was all kind of a bit ghost town abandoned. And then it was like a duplex. And normally we just have 2 riders per hotel room. But because this was a full chalet, we had 4 riders per duplex.
Yeah.
Which was kind of strange. And we had like a kitchen and a fridge and everything inside that we didn't use. But yeah, that was a bit of a weird setup.
But it was nice after dinner. We had a chat with Phil and Nikki.
Yeah, we had an after dinner chat in like the lounge room of this really old abandoned chalet.
Well, we never have.
Yeah, we never do this.
Everyone goes to the room.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
And the good thing was we could hang our laundry.
Yeah, again.
That's maybe also a fun topic, how we do our laundry.
Yeah, laundry gets hung on a lot of lampshades, TVs, chairs. We're quite lucky that actually this rest day hotel we have now is very big and we've got a lot of space.
Yeah, and we can hang our clothes everywhere.
Yeah.
And you can open a suitcase.
Yeah, this can also
I'm surprised your suitcase is not like flat open.
Yeah, but the top half of my suitcase where the zip's closed, I just keep all the stuff that I don't really need. And the bottom half, I just keep the basic stuff.
Me too, but I don't like with this suitcase because it's with a zip. I always have the feeling it can break then.
I never keep that much stuff in my suitcase, to be honest. I try to travel very minimally.
Yeah, me too, but yeah.
How heavy was your suitcase when you came in an airplane, you remember?
I think around 19.5 kilo, but I always have like, we call it a dead bag.
Yeah, like a bag full of extra clothes you don't really need.
So I had a lot of stuff in there that I go in the bag, what I always leave in the truck, what I normally only need on rest days, or you have crashes or whatever. Hopefully not, but when you need extra clothing that you can take out of there.
Yeah, another point on the clothing. We normally get given quite a bit of clothing at the start of the Grand Tour. So for example, I don't think I traveled with any cycling kit to the start of the race because I got, basically I always use skin suits in racing. And I think I got 3 summer skin suits and 2 normal skin suits when I arrived in Italy. So I didn't really bring any clothes with me for bike racing.
And after stage 1, how many skin suits are abandoned?
Oh, so normally, especially the summer skin suit, which is thin material, normally in a Grand Tour, it'll last a week. Because by the time, especially the really hot days when you're constantly pouring water over yourself, it goes in the washing machine a bunch of times.
And the sun cream, I think, is also not helping.
Yeah, like the normal bib shorts and jersey, like you can train in that for months at home.
Yeah.
Not an issue. But the summer skin suit, especially with the thin material, just gets like real baggy, and also the extra dirt from the road. We got white skin suits as well.
We had one rain day and the gravel.
Yeah, straight off the gravel day, my skin suit went in the bin. It was very worn out and probably not very useful for anyone. So, gravel day, rest in peace.
My jersey went pretty white. But
it's different. The gravel was just dust. It's less as the mud.
And I also always ride old school in the bib.
I reckon you're in the very few amount of people that still ride bibs and jersey in the race.
Yeah.
Almost everyone has skin suits, and especially now you notice more and more people with the aero helmet, like the EF guys, that new POC helmet and the visor.
Ooh, that's not a nice one, but I think really fast.
Yeah, I think also very fast.
But it doesn't look really nice.
Nah, it doesn't look very nice. Talking not looking very nice. What do you think about what do you think about the French guy from Trek that got a fine from the UCI for kissing his wife during the TT?
Interesting. I spoke about this in my own podcast, in Koers, but it's in Dutch. So I think it was not nice that he got a fine. But I also found it a little bit ridiculous to stop next to the road and kiss your wife. I'm like, just do that after the stage or do that when you left the tour. But like, at the end, you're in a race in the football, soccer, how do we call it? You also don't, if you see your wife in the public, give a kiss. So I'm a little bit to fine him and saying it was what did they say to UCI?
I think showing the sport in a bad image.
Yeah,
about this.
I found that a little bit harsh to say. To fine him, I also found a little bit over the limit.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the fining thing was a bit too extreme.
Yeah.
Also, we are racing bikes, but also maybe if my family was on the side of the road and
Yeah.
I wasn't really needing to try in the TT, I'd also maybe just like stop
Yeah.
and say hello. He's maybe from the village. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But but I think everyone is different there.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that the fine was maybe a little bit over the top.
Yeah. But I also heard, because one sprint day, there was a big screen at 800 meters or 500 meters, and some riders stopped to watch on the screen, and apparently they also got fined.
What?
Yeah, that they were standing still and watching on the big screen.
Oh, I've done that before, actually.
No, I agree that they got a fine, because I found it really ridiculous to stop in the last 800 meters to watch to a big screen.
Oh, you've never done that?
I look at it when I pass, on a climb or whatever.
Yeah.
But not in a bunch sprint.
Yeah, okay, if I'm in the peloton, I'm obviously not going to stop. But if I'm like gruppetto behind and I know a teammate's about to win or something like this, then I might like at least slow down to 5K an hour and watch it.
Yeah, but not stopping and clicking out of your pedal. I mean, it's still in a bike race.
True. Talking about bike racing, TT Day.
Yeah.
So, people might not know this, but especially in Grand Tours, you normally have the two extremes of people in the team. You have the people that go full gas and prepare everything for the time trial. And then you also have the guys where the TT is basically a glorified rest day.
Yeah.
So in Bahrain, we had Santiago, Peo, and myself. We all went full in the TT, and then the rest of the team basically had a rest day. But it means that our days were very different.
Yeah.
For example, I was awake at 8:30, went to the kitchen truck, small amount of breakfast, drove 40 minutes to the start, rode the 25 kilometer TT, got in the car, went back to the hotel, had some lunch, chilled out, then went back to the start, did all the warm up, all that kind of stuff, and then went full gas in the TT. Whereas I think your day was much more chill.
First day morning that I slept longer than you.
True. True. I was in breakfast and already left the hotel, I think, by the time you'd had breakfast.
Yeah. So for me, it was like an easy day. And so normally you do recon. I didn't do recon. I left the hotel at 11. My warming up was around 2. I did the warming up. I did the race, went back to the hotel.
How hard did you warm up, considering, like, first, how hard did you warm up, and then how hard did you actually go on the time trial?
So my coach made a plan, like the power I had to do, because you need to still be in time, because you don't want to go out of time. So he made a really, I think it was under my zone 3. So if I would do under zone 3, I should be okay. And
For the TT?
For the TT. And then my warming up was, I think, only 15 minutes or 17, but not so hard as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, was quite nice, because sometimes you're smashing that rotors that you're like, I still have to do a TT. But then the problem with me is I did it already so many times from A to B, especially when I was riding in Sky for Froome. I always get nervous that I get out of time, because if I have to do on the zone 3, if it would be a training, I would be like, oh, that's a spicy training. But in a race, because you are in the zone of pushing, it feels like really slow. And, with Pogačar and these boys and Evenepoel, you're a little bit like, if they have really, really good day, then you don't want to be that guy that is out of time. So I think I went 20, 30 watts over.
Yeah, I think you finished like 3 minutes 50 or 4 minutes down from the winner, and I think the time cut was
7 or 8.
Almost 8 minutes and a half.
Yeah.
So
So
you could have lost another 3 minutes.
I went 3 minutes too fast.
But I've also had this in Welter when Simon Yates was doing well, or previous Welters, where I was told to just go easy. And I remember getting caught by like 2 riders in the first 10K.
But then you get
30K.
stressed.
Mate, you're trying to do mental math. Like, you're like, so if I average 40K an hour for the rest of the time, it's going to take me this long to do this. And you just spend the whole time nervous, and you get to the finish and you realize you made time cut by like 5 minutes.
But the thing is, we have like 2 time splits.
Intermediate time checks.
Yeah. So the first one I missed, I couldn't see my name, because normally you see really big. Maybe you don't look at it because you're focused. So I was like, with the second one, I really have to watch good. And then I saw, I don't know, I was still 22. I was like, whoa, this is way too fast. So then I slowed down already a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I suffered a little bit, but not like like a normal day.
Yeah. So in total, you probably rode 15, 17 minutes warm up.
Yeah.
Plus then the
30 minutes time trial.
30 minutes. So
2 minutes longer, but
let's say like somewhere between 45 and 50 minutes.
yeah.
Whereas I think the recon took me about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I did 20 minutes warm up. And then I did a half an hour TT. So I didn't.
Oh, and cooling down.
And cooling down. So I did almost an hour 40, an hour 45 in total.
Yeah.
Of which 30 minutes was full biscuit.
Yeah.
And it's not very much of an easy day because you're always kind of like on off. You do the recon, rest, you do the warm up, race, cool down.
You don't get in the rhythm.
Yeah.
And you also have that not stress feeling, but tension that you have to deliver.
Yeah, there's always something going on in the day and you always have a bit of that pressure. And
because I think it was good that you guys were not in the bus because there was such a big gap in between when you had to go and we had to go. I mean, that was a pretty relaxed atmosphere in the bus. And I know if I had to go full and other people don't go full, sometimes it's a little bit annoying that you see everyone's like, YOLO, like, oh yeah, rest day, or like, you see they're way more relaxed and you also try to get sort of in the zone, what I always have.
Yeah, it can be hard when half the team in the bus is basically just like joking around, don't really care about the day, then the other half of the team in the bus is like pretty trying to focus.
So it was one funny thing. Normally Fred Wright, he could do top 10 here.
Yeah, he's a pretty good time trialist, and normally he goes pretty hard.
But he crashed and he had like pain in his wrist.
He crashed when Pogacar almost ran into the middle thing on the island. There's videos of it all over the internet. People will remember.
And then Freddie went down.
Yeah, Freddie crashed instead of
And so he had pain in his wrist. So then they decided that he had to do also like take an extra sort of rest day. And he was so happy with it. I never saw from the breakfast till the TT. He was like, hey, Wout, you also have a rest day? That was so funny. We were standing with 2 riders of Cofidis in the elevator going down to the start. And he was like, you guys also having a rest day? He was so happy with it. Oh, that was cute.
All right, talking about rest days. Today's the rest day. What do we do?
What we do? Yeah, resting mainly. So, sleep a little bit longer in. But for me, it's not really an option. So I was same time awake and then I do breakfast. Then you go for, 45 kilometers on the bike?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half.
With a little coffee stop.
We're kind of staying in the middle of nowhere. So the coffee stop was just this really random, like, news agency, what's Lotto?
The lottery.
Yeah, the lottery tickets you can buy there, and then there was like a random bar attached to it, and people having like pints of beer already at midday, and then we had some terrible coffee and kind of it wasn't the greatest coffee shop.
No, but the main thing, we just wanted to stop and sit.
Yeah, the main thing was that we just wanted to kill some time because sometimes rest days can go very fast, but also on the other side go very slow in certain moments.
You look forward, but you also get out of rhythm.
Yeah.
Especially now. That's why we are recording this podcast, because you were bored.
Yeah, I was basically bored. I said, hey, wow, we need to kill some time before dinner. You want to record a podcast?
So then we do lunch. After that, we have some massage and treatment. And then you just chill, maybe some stretching, pack your suitcase again, or like your backpack for tomorrow. And then now we almost have to go to dinner. And then we go to bed again.
Yeah. I was thinking about this when we had lunch today. It's kind of weird that for 9 days, we basically don't have lunch. Like we have the post-race meal.
Yeah, but true.
Like, we basically just have breakfast and dinner and then skip lunch because it's basically post-race meal after the race on the bus, driving to the hotel. And generally I have porridge, but recently I've been mixing it up and having wraps.
Yeah, so
up a little bit.
I teach that from you, that I was eating porridge.
Yeah.
But I think after 2 years, I'm done with it. So then I saw someone, I think you had wraps.
No, someone had wraps the first day. Oh, one of the days. And I remember both of us saw it and we're like, man, we need to get some wraps.
Yeah, and they are good now.
Yeah.
I'm full on the wraps now because Peo, Bilbao, he saw my wraps yesterday and he said, wow, can I have one of your wraps? And my answer was, no, my wraps.
Yeah, because they generally try to figure out that we have around 90 grams of carbohydrates after the race, and it changes depending on how hard the stage is. But normally people will have a selection of pasta or rice or Yeah, because a lot of the teams from Slovenia and the service courses in Slovenia, we have this weird chocolate Slovenian cereal
Never had it.
called Chokolechnik.
Yeah, chokniksk.
Yeah, I don't know.
No
Anyway,
idea.
some of the guys really like this.
Maybe we need to try it one day.
Yeah. And yeah, we normally go for the porridge, but recently it's been wraps.
Wraps. No, it's good.
Yeah. And then for lunch today, considering it was the first sit-down lunch we've had since Italy, we had pasta for a change with some tomato sauce.
Yeah. I've said I hope dinner is.
I hope dinner's a bit more exciting. Rest day dinner. What did we have last night?
That was nice. Burgers.
Yeah, we had proper burgers with patty, bun, cheese, a little bit of lettuce inside.
Yeah.
There was also mustard and some roast potatoes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We deserved.
Yeah. And then we actually always get dessert, but the chef that's the best at making dessert isn't here. That's Igor. He was in Dauphiné. You weren't there either. But Dauphiné, we had some really good desserts.
Do you think Bernard is listening to your podcast?
I hope not. I love you, Bernard. Your food's great. But you can maybe pick it up on the dessert game.
Yeah. Speaking about food.
I know. We're probably running late because you need to take a shower. And then the directors walked into our room just as we started because they wanted to have a check up on us and see how our rest day went. And we both just said, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. No,
Yeah,
I had a nice rest day.
I sometimes wonder why the directors come into the rooms every now and then, but they just want to check up and see how we're going. And
Yeah, but maybe they were also bored. They were like,
true. They were probably
because
bored,
normally the
actually.
whole day they're also busy, and now they're like,
Yeah.
checking in with the riders.
Yeah, checking in with the riders. The staff also did barbecue last night. It's a bit of a tradition on rest day.
Yeah, I saw more smoke than barbecue when I entered for the first time.
Yeah, I didn't ask them how the barbecue.
I think it was nice. I asked David, my masseur,
Yeah,
and we had some music in the background.
yeah, they always have a bit of a shindig. Bit of
Yeah, but I think for them also a little bit to unstress.
Unwind a little bit,
Yeah.
relax, and especially after the gravel stage, which was pretty intensive in terms of preparation, stress, the bottle points, tires.
Imagine you have to plan everything that and all the wheels because they were changing all the tubular wheels.
Yeah, because we used bigger tires and they needed to do all the tubeless setup
Yeah.
and change them all back again, and everything was covered in dust, even all the cars. I think they changed some tires and a bunch of stuff. In the
I
cars
heard
as well.
some like 4 cars went for service today.
Yeah, I was joking with one of the mechanics. I was like, yeah, Tour de France seems like the best time to do a service on the
Yeah,
car.
I was also like, why you don't do it like before the tour? But I'm sure they have the reason.
Exactly. There's for sure a reason there. But yeah, I think the staff enjoyed a relaxing evening last night. And now we've got 6 days.
Yeah, looking forward.
We get to the Pyrenees at the end of this week.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I hope it gets hot. The weather's been kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not really Tour de France weather. Only in Italy was really warm.
Yeah, Italy was super hot.
But
And then
I have to say, I quite like these temperatures for racing.
I way prefer it being really hot.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, mate. In Italy, I was loving it. Because then everyone else suffers. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's my Australian genes. I actually quite
Yeah, I'm
like
from the
them.
Netherlands, huh?
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Anyway, let's wrap this up and go to dinner. Next podcast, we will report back on whether dinner was better than lunch or not.
Next rest day.
Yeah, next rest day. Or maybe I can try one day if we get bored again. I'll rope you into doing
Yeah.
a quick update.
Why not?
You got anything else to add?
No.
You like sugar-free jam?
No, I'm not a big fan of that. You?
Nah, inside joke. We'll wrap it there.